Hi, Audrey here. I thought I'd share an art journal page with you today using the Artful Layer stencil from 49er Market and Sizzix. I've clipped it securely to my page and then I've added a thick dollop of texture paste. I've made sure that this is dried completely before I moved on with the piece. To start with, I've used Tranquil Waters Re-Inker and some water to make a watery mix and applied it to the page with a brush because it's a little bit of a quicker process. Blue is my most favourite colour, but I have chosen these colours on this page to go with the matching with Plume and Petal collection from 49er Market. So I've gone through and added the re-inker here and there. I want some darker areas. It wasn't happening fast enough for me, so I thought I would do a little water spritz to make the ink run a bit more. Any leftover re-inker on my page I've just splashed on with the brush, and then I've gone through with the ink pad and a brush and blended the blue across the page even more. Any leftover ink on that acrylic block I just rubbed over the edges of the page. I've then gone through, because I was even more impatient, and I decided I would put the re-inker straight onto my page and a spritz of water and guided the ink where I wanted it to go on the page. I did this because I wanted even darker areas of that colour on the page. I quite liked how it turned out. Moved on to the Sangria re-inker with the same sort of technique because it was faster, and blended and moved my page around in different directions, hence why the lighting changes here and there. My poor phone that was recording didn't know what I was doing, so I'm sure you get the gist as I go along though. I liked how the Sangria mixed in with the blue tones and made some more purple effects, light and shade, where the ink fell into different crevices. I just had a play. I then used the Sangria ink pad and a brush to blend the colours through some more. I've also used a wet wipe every now and again just to remove some of the ink off the actual texture paste so the white shows through. And every now and again I dry what I've done just so that the page is not getting too wet to work on. Added some dress blues to the page just to darken here and there, and again when you add that to another ink, so say the Tranquil Waters, it's going to make it a bit darker, it's going to make the Sangria a bit purple. I've then added some of the Dress Blues re-inker so I can get darker spots on the page and spritz it with water. I'm back to some Tranquil Waters re-inker. Just kept spritzing and adding colours as I went along until I was happy. I'm really still learning processes with ink and the re-inkers, and it really is all about just playing and working it out as you go. I think the blending comes in handy. The more you blend, the softer the edges are, and dry in between. I love using rub-ons on my art journal pages, so these are from the Plume and Petal collection. I've just gone through and made sure I've rubbed it on really, really well, especially where there's any texture, as in height and low parts of the piece. Used a smaller section of my stylus, so I made sure I was getting into the deeper sort of areas on the page. I've cut some of the rub-ons in half to use on the page. I do that a lot. It makes my rub-ons go on a little bit further, and just make sure they're pressed onto the page really well. I've then got one of 49er Market script stamps and some archival ink from Ranger and stamped the image on my page. Then some stickles, which are also from Ranger, and I have brushed them across the whole top of my page. They're in the gold colour. I added a spritz of water to make them spread out and go a little bit further as well, and just kept adding until I was happy with the effect. Again, drying off the page before I moved on to anything else. Some more rub-ons. I love those peacock feathers, they're just gorgeous. I picked a circular frame out of the die cut Ephemera and Frames pack. I love the gold plating that they have on these pieces. I've then hot glued some laser cuts in and around the frame. Then chosen a chipboard word strip, which was perfect for this. Beautiful things often happen unexpectedly. And that's the finished piece.